Today, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a federal ban on bump stocks. That ban was previously approved by former President Donald Trump. He pushed for the ban in response to the 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas. 60 people were killed and more than 500 hurt. The shooter used 23 different guns to fire more than 1,000 rounds in less than 10 minutes. Several of the guns were equipped with bump stocks. The shooting is what largely led to the ban on the weapon modification. Joining me here is Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, today's ruling was 6-3 along ideological lines, but Justice Clarence Thomas wrote that a bump stock doesn't convert a semi-automatic rifle more than someone with a fast finger. That really struck a chord with the more liberal justices.
I can say I agree with something that he wrote in there, not that part, but the portion in there when he said we've held for a long time that the firearm being a machine gun has to be the finger being pulled multiple times. So holding it is a machine gun. Multiple pulls is not. I agree with that rationale, and I also agree with Sotomayor's comeback, which is if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. It is having the function of a machine gun. And so if I get to the core of how I feel about this opinion, I think I would say I wholeheartedly agree with where the court went. I just don't understand why folks are frustrated with the answer or solution, because what they were really looking at, this was not a Second Amendment case. This was really an administrative case. This was an executive powers case. This was, does an agency have an ability to create laws case? And the court resoundingly, a 6-3 majority, said no, you don't. ATF, while you are a advisory of an agency that regulates, an agency that makes sure that people and organizations do what they're supposed to do within the letter of the law, what you have done now is extended your authority and extended your ability and extended your power by now creating these rules that now have somehow turned into laws. If you want to change the laws, what Clarence Thomas said in his opinion is that you just have to get Congress to do it, which is I wholeheartedly agree with.
And then that's really where this issue lies, because the ATF, that came from their kind of reclassification of the bump stock, right?
Most of the things that we have are reactionary things. You know what? And back in the 60s and the 50s, people were dying, and in the 70s in clubs, and so you get these exit signs. And so in the response to that, agencies were like, we got to find a way to ensure that we can rein these in. They had no way to know how to get out in the middle of a fire. Mandatory, make sure that they have exit signs. And some of those things stick. But in responses to mass shootings, why I can 100% understand why folks want to get rid of this. This is right in line with what they were attempting to get rid of with machine guns. The bump stocks and the effects that it does, it has the effect of taking a firearm that you could, with your finger, maybe shoot 200, 300 shots a minute.
It's the kickback that does it,
right? But it's that recall that's forcing it that now bumps that up to 900 potential rounds per minute. That is not even humanly possible to do with the finger pull. That's why I said I don't agree with that portion of the. But
how this all played out with the Supreme Court,
100%. This is what you want your Supreme Court to do. You want them to say, does this agency have the authority to do what they did? Does the executive have the authority to do what he did? Does Congress have the authority to do it? And then say, you know what? You've stepped out of line. And in this instance, ATF has stepped out of line. Regardless of where you fall on the second-degree ideological spectrum, this is an administrative question. Does this agency have the ability to write law? And the resounding answer is no, and I agree with that.
Right, and anyone on the surface of this issue is going to think that it's a Second Amendment thing, but it's very important to lay that out real quick. Do you think Congress is going to take it up?
Not at all.
Okay. Thank you, Khalif. Appreciate your input.